Afternoon everybody, Rich here, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Apologies for not uploading videos for the past 2 months, but a few things got in the way, and well, I'm back now anyway. And something a bit different for this video. It is not strictly an F1 car, well, it's not an F1 car, it is actually a champ car, or a kart racing series car, as it says on the box up here. It's from the 1999 Kart World Series, Champ Car World Series, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it was what IndyCar used to be before it swallowed every other series up and became what it is today. This is a action model, as you can see down here. It's a very popular brand in America, usually producing NASCAR models, some of which I have already. I've got some NASCAR models as well. They're up there. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 NASCAR models up on the shelf up there, so I may do a video review for them as well. But on to what we'll talk about today. This is a Rahal, Team Rahal Reynard chassis. It's from the 99 season, as I already said. It's Max Papis in the car, and we've got the badge up here. We got where is it there? Max Papis, 7 Miller Lite, 1999 Reynard, one of 3500, and a code number there. But yeah, this is a World Series, a racing series which I used to enjoy back in the day, back in say 98, 99, because when well, it was back when Alex Zanardi and Juan Montoya were dominating the sport. It's back in the good old days. IRL was sort of just beginning, and Champ Car was the top open wheel series in America. I enjoyed watching it, although it wasn't broadcast live much in the UK. I think it was live. But it was always, of course, it being America, it was always late in the evening. So, but it's a good alternative to Formula 1 though, because back in the day, when you had a crap race in Formula 1, you could turn on to Eurosport in the evening and watch the Champ Cars, which is usually 10 times better, or more interesting anyway, better racing. Of course, they had variety of racing as well. Of course, it was oval racing, you had super speedways, and of course, you had street racing as well. This model I have here of the Rahal or Team Rahal car is a circuit, or not circuit, it's a street track configuration for the area package, sort of the version you got on the box there. On the top of the box it is the super speedway version, but inside it is actually the street track version. I'll just have a quick look around the box. It is a big box, and I say it is a big box. It's bloody heavy. Well, not so much heavy, it's just awkward manoeuvre. I mean, you need 2 hands to lift this thing up, and you also need a bigger viewfinder as well to get it all in. But it is quite a chunky thing, and I won't bore you with the details of this, or of the car itself. I don't have a lot of information on the team or what it is, but basically it's the Rahal Letterman team as it is today. Well, today it's the Rahal Letterman team in IndyCar, in the IndyCar series, and I think they're doing alright. I think they're still in the sport today. Don't have IndyCars here in the UK, of course, on TV, unless you have I think it's on BT Sport now, so I don't have that. I'm just stuck with Sky, so there we go. So have a quick look around the side. It's just basically action all the way around on the box, and it's in the box itself. It's actually in the sleeve. So if I actually move around, lift up, you can see it's actually in this sleeve here. So if we do an unboxing now, we'll push the box out the sleeve. Doing this one-handed really doesn't help. So that's the sleeve, and you can see it's all legal gump there, and it's a bit frayed at the edges as well, which doesn't help, but that's the way it's been stored. I haven't had this, well, I've had this about 4 years, and it hasn't been out the box in that time, so I'm just trying to remember what's actually inside it. So we've got the details here. You've got 1/18 scale Champ Car model, thingy here with the price tag of £56 from f1stuff.com. If they're still about, I'll be very surprised. Also GoRacing.com. Yeah, also got all the kart badges and FedEx things on the side there. Doing alright, I think. So yeah, next thing to do is look around the side. Of course, it's action there and action around that side, and probably action on the bottom. No, it's blank on the bottom, so there we go. Right, time for a bit of unboxing if I can. I can't do this one-handed, so if I just lift the lid off. There we go, that's the lid off. Oh shit, just flattened the sleeve. Alright, so what we've got inside, we've got a big caution sticker saying all of that, and at the top here we've got someone's written in pen, mind the aerial. Oh, okay, this is where the removable body panels are. So we lift this piece up here, and pieces wrapped in Andric's toilet roll. What's this piece? Oh, it's the engine cover. That's the engine cover piece. So that's that bit there. As of course, nice bit of diecast there. Put that to one side. And what's the other bit? I can't remember what it was. It is. Oh, it is the top of the suspension. So that's the front body panel on top of the chassis. And you see Miller Lite number 7 and what that says there. Right, put that to one side. That's also die-cast as well. So if we stuff the bog roll back in there, hold the camera steady and then stick that bit back on there. Stuff it. Right, the sellotape's gone. Right, so the next job to do is to try and get this lid out. Remember this lid being sellotaped on one side, so I've got to tip the box upside down. Give me one sec. Alright. Lift off there. What bloody packaging this thing comes in. Right, there's the inner thing. It's all wrapped in polystyrene. Tip it up the right way. Right. And work out what to do. Now if I just hold on to the tripod. Right, there we go. So there we go. Lift off that bit there. Plenty of padding in there. Hefty bit of polystyrene, and underneath this piece of kitchen towel we have our car. And there we go. There's our Reynard chassis Miller Lite Rahal Reynard Racing Team car, and it's very nice it is as well. If we can try and get it out the box without breaking too many pieces, I'll be surprised. Get that bit off, another bit over there, get that bit out. Right, now do you get this thing out? It's screwed to a plastic base, so if I lift that out, right, plonk that down there and chuck that on the floor. Oh shit, that made a louder noise than was expected. Right, there we go, there's our car here. And like I said, it's attached to a clear plastic base, and oh shit, wrong one. A clear plastic base, which is basically a bit of perspex moulded around. It's not very well made, I don't think, because I think when I looked at it last, yeah, it's cracked on the bottom. You can see where the screws are. It's cracked all there, so what I might do, actually, I'll do a jump cut and I'll take it off the base, so back in a sec. Okay, back again. Now I've got the car off the base, so now we've got the it all 3 wheels, and it does roll quite nicely. Although on this base it's a bit pissed, so it's going to roll off the side if I'm not careful. So yeah, we've got all these loose bits here, so I'll get the engine cover piece. We've got, well, not the engine cover, this is the top of the chassis, but I won't put them on just yet, but we'll have a look in the details anyway. Oh, pardon me. And we'll have a look on the top of the chassis here. You can see all the suspension gubbins in there, so it's actually quite nicely detailed there. You've got all the springs and push rods and things there, quite nicely detailed there. And then on the engine front we've got the piece here, nice V8 Cosworth turbocharged engine there, and nicely detailed there. The engine cover does sit quite nicely and flush on top of this piece, so it's nicely moulded there. And look around the back there. So I thought I'd get this bit of detail out the way first. Alright, so that's that all out the way, and now what I do, stick these bits on. You've got 2 pegs on the nose cover there, so I'll just slot that on there, and that's nicely done there. And then the engine cover, which is a very nicely sculpted piece of metal as well, goes and sits on the top of the engine bay here. So it's sort of got a little tab on the front there, which goes into a little slot there, and then it sort of, I think that's it. I think that's it. Yep, that's pretty snug. I think. Yep, that'll do. So that's that bit done there. And I don't know if the light is actually doing this justice, that what appears on the viewfinder is actually brighter, but I have got a torch with me, so I can illuminate away. And really does show the blue up quite nicely. The blue actually blends in with the matte I'm using, but get rid of that for the minute. But onto the car itself. Pardon me. The car is very nicely made. It's very heavy as well. I mean, compared to a Minichamps Formula 1 car, this thing is massively overweight. I mean, it's oversized as well. If I actually get a Minichamps F1 car, you can compare the size. If I put one down, where is it? Alright, back again. Here's the F1 car. You can compare the two in size. Actually, the Indy car is massive. It is very nice. Sort of comparable to the size of Formula 1 cars of today. I mean, this thing is huge. And to be honest, this is what Formula 1 cars should be looking like today. I mean, a low nose, which is the rules, wide track, which would be the rules next year, a simple rear wing, a simple front wing, which should be the case, undercut side pods, basic aerodynamics on the back and a pop-off valve on the top of the engine. Turbocharged, of course, and that's my opinion what Formula 1 car should look like next year rather than this year. Formula 1 cars are really ugly nowadays, but this is just comparing it to the size of the Ferrari there. I'll get rid of that now without breaking it. But under the car, it is, like I said, a very nice piece of kit, and not overly expensive either. And we just have a quick zoom around. We've done the engine covering bit, but to get the profile of the car, you can see the low nose, slick tyres, a very big side to it as well. Side pods are very low, but that was the time of this car, 1999 this was. Let's have a look around again, around the back. So a very basic profile, but very nicely sculpted, especially on the engine cover here, how it all blends in there. I think the paint on the engine cover is slightly blemished as well. It's different to the what's on the actual bodywork of the car, or at least on one side it's a different colour. You can see it's one colour, one side it's that colour, and on the other side it's a lighter blue. I think the previous owner might have had this set in the light, which is not a very good thing. I never noticed that before. And just we look around this side here. And what's that? Oh, this has actually been signed as well. I don't know if that is actually Max Papis' signature there, because I haven't looked it up, but there is a signature on the car, and if anyone could confirm it, I'm not sure which way around it's meant to go, but if anyone could confirm that's a signature of someone, then by all means. But if not, I may remove it somehow. But yeah, I think it might be his signature, I don't know. But pardon me, and look around this way. Like I said, simple, basic front wing, what Formula 1 should be like. Also, the front wing is not too wide. Also, the car is wide track car as well. I mean, this is how Formula 1 should be. And I keep saying that, and I'll say that to the day I die, but this is a sexy looking machine. Look, the profile there, low nose, simple front wing. Just turn the car around again, and yeah, it's nicely detailed. We'll have a look in the cockpit now. There's no driver in the car, which is one of the a bit of a shame, but we'll have a look around anyway. We've got some nice detailing in the cockpit. We've got some fabric seat belts in there, also the seat belt buckles, which is nicely detailed. Also quite a bit of dust. I haven't given it a clean since I've had it, but got some nice detail there. On the steering wheel, if I can get round without knocking the wing mirrors off, get round that way, and you can see the readout on the top there. Basic steering wheel, which is what it should be. Basically one button, and a few buttons on the dash. You've got the gear lever there, you've got the manual stick shift car gearbox, and also a lot of dust. Got the pop-off valve there, which is stops the turbo from producing too much pressure. The Champion logo there. It's quite a big groove gap in the bodywork. As you can see where the bodywork, the engine cover lifts off, you can see there is a bit of a gap there, but it's not a huge issue. Also, you got the fuel flap there as well, which nicely sculpted. Also got a hair growing out of it for some reason. It needs a good clean, this thing. All the details around the back there. And we've got some stickers on the rear wing. Also, the rear wing itself is a simple design, how Formula 1 should be. Don't need no DRS. There we go. We've got the Miller light there. Very rare to see a model with alcohol sponsoring on as well these days. I think the only one I've got recently that I've had is the Williams FW36 with the Martini logos on it. I don't think Minichamps would come close to well, I suppose they do put the alcohol logos on, but I'm not sure they still do or not, but hey ho. We've got the Miller light on the side there. Also the Firestone on the side there. It's got the big wing on the side. Also the big Ford badge, proper car manufacturer. And then more Honda, Mercedes or Ferrari. What's the other one? Oh, Renault. There we go. Right, there we go. And keep saying this is how Formula 1 should look like. I keep banging on about that, but I do apologise for those of you who are proper IndyCar fans. But Formula 1 could probably learn a lot from IndyCar, or at least Champ Car anyway. But there you go. And I should say this thing is a very heavy model, and the reason for that is because underneath, the bottom of the car is metal as well. I mean, the whole bottom panel is metal. There's no plastic floor. I mean, if you look at the Formula 1 car I just showed you, over here, the whole bottom piece is plastic, which is a real shame. But on the Indy car, the whole bottom panel nose to diffuser is die-cast metal, and it very nicely made it is as well. I mean, it really does add to the weight. I mean, it weighs a ton, and a bit just fell off it. And if we just zoom in here, we've got the Action logo on the top there. Action, made in China, as you'd expect. Also I've got a bit of gumph down there. 118 Reynard chassis. Reynard no longer about, sadly. And also we've got the something written there, which is the CART trademark, 1999, and a few letters there which I can't read properly. We've got the diffuser probably could have used being painted. You know, could have been painted a bit more, but it's body colour, so it's not too bad. If we have a look around the back again, we have a look at the diffuser. And what was the bit? Oh, it's the engine cover that fell off. I'll put that back on in a minute. We'll have a look around the diffuser here. We've got some nice detailing there, and a nice bit of die-cast metal between the rear wing as well, holding the rear wing together. Although it's plastic, it is pretty solid. And you get the nice view through the gearbox, through the top of the suspension mount. So we'll have a look at the engine compartment anyway. So while we're here, so we've got some nice detailing there. If I get my torch, you can probably get a better look at it. So we just zoom in here. I'm trying to illuminate it without glaring everything, but there's a nice detailing there. I want to zoom in, but I've only got one hand, or one or two hands, and both of them are used up. Tell you what, put that down, zoom in there, and then pick it up again. Right, there we go. We'll look around the Cosworth unit there. Nicely detailed. Got the top of the suspension mounts there, all the cables and things. Beautiful. I'll put that away now. I can turn it off without shining it in my eyes. Right, so that's that bit. And you've got the bulkhead at the back of the engine there, where the engine is mounted to the chassis. Very nicely sculpted as well. I mean, there's not a detail missing on this car, I think. Something which a lot of companies, manufacturers, could do without charging the bloody earth for a model. I mean, what are Formula 1 models today? I mean, I think a Williams today is nearly £200 brand new. What the fuck is the point of that? You know, back in 2005, 1/18 scale model was £39, and ever since then it just crept. Well, not really crept up, just shot up. But it is ridiculous how the prices of things have just gone up. I mean, this thing I paid £10 for this thing on eBay about 4 or 5 years ago. And for some reason these things don't sell that well in the UK. They sell, but they don't sell for very much. You know, it's a real shame. I think they are worth a lot more money. They just don't seem to sell that much. Well, they don't come up very often either, which is a shame. I could do with a couple more of these. I mean, the Target Chip Ganassi car, which is basically a Reynard, basically the same car as this, but painted in the red Target colour scheme of the Chip Ganassi team, was a real looker as well. There are different variants as well. This is the circuit racing. This is sort of the street track, you know, sort of Vancouver sort of style racing, racetrack type car. You know, the what is it, road course, as they call it in America. This is road course aerodynamic specification. Got the big front wing and a big rear wing. There is another version of this, car, but the Jimmy Vasser Target car has a different aero package. It has a slimmer front wing, which is basically just one plane for the front wing for the super speedway, and a smaller rear wing as well. So that's that version as well. Also, the version I would like is the Team Cool Green as well, which is what Paul Tracy and Dario Franchitti used in the 98-99 seasons, which is basically another one of these chassis, but painted with the Cool Green branding on it. Nice green stripes and the green side pods. A very nice, striking looking car. One I also recommend getting. If you can't get one of those, or if you can't get one of these, you're going to have to go look around, because they don't come up very often here in the UK. Most of them are just buy it now prices, and they're sort of in the £80 to £90 region, which it's nowhere near what they should be worth, or what they are worth, or what I would recommend paying. I mean, I paid £10 for this thing, and no one else bid on it, which is a real shame. Well, it's not a shame for me, but it's a shame for what these cars are. They're massive quality, detail, but just no one wants them, and I don't know why. But a real beauty of a car. And if I just turn the thing back on again, have a quick look over it, if I can get the right angle, and get a nice glary looks at it. But yeah, like I said, it's a real shame that these cars don't come up very often, and they're not considered worth a lot of money. But I think they're better looking better looking than today's Formula 1 cars, to be honest. I mean, this thing hasn't got a penis on the end of the nose, hasn't got a stub, hasn't got a square nose with a thumb on the end, hasn't got a low nose because the rule says so. I mean, the front and rear wings are basic, like the rules stay in the Champ car at the time. But you know, Formula 1 has just gone downhill, to be honest. That's why I started collecting the NASCAR models as well. I mean, I got, like I showed you at the beginning, got 6 NASCAR models on the shelf behind me. They're 1/24 scale. And some of those colour schemes they got are works of art, and which is a shame that Formula 1 can't follow that. But I keep banging on about it, and I do apologise. But like I said at the beginning, I do recommend, said earlier on, I would recommend getting one of these if you can. I mean, it does stand out. I mean, it is a different look to a racing car. I mean, amongst the Formula 1 collection, it does stand out a bit. Whether you like it or not is up to you, but I personally love this car. It's just a shame it doesn't come in a see-through box as well. I mean, it's got so much packaging around it. I mean, if you drop an anvil on it, it wouldn't break because of the amount of packaging it comes in. Also got a wibbly aerial as well. Got a rubber aerial there, and a rubber aerial there, and another rubber aerial up here. So it's got 3 rubber aerials. So which Formula 1 doesn't have rubbery aerials anymore. It has sharp objects sticking out the top of it nowadays. But yeah, I would recommend getting this car, and I really do love it. And I can't say that enough. But anyway, this is enough of my review. But yeah, it is worth a lot more than it is. But yeah, if you can get hold of one, then by all means get hold of it. I mean, it does stand out. But that's my opinion, that's my review, and so yeah, this is Rich signing off, logging off and disappearing, and I shall return with another review. Don't know which one. It could be any one of these. There are plenty up there if you want to have a look around. You know, if you want one done, I shall try and do one. I am going to do a video, sort of what is it? Inventory of what I got, just to you know, show what I have got, and then you can sort of pick out the ones you want me to review. But we'll see. I may do that later on. I may do it tomorrow or whenever. But anyway, this is Rich signing off, logging off and disappearing, and I shall return with another review. So bye for now.